Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining for one of our virtual sessions on HP SitePrint. My name is Carmen, and I am the EMEA Marketing Manager, and I'm very happy to be here today to host this session for all of our audience today. And today we're going to speak about why HP SitePrint is the best deal in construction. Okay, we're going to explain a bit about our pay-as-you-go model, and we also are going to listen it from one of our customers, Clinton. Right. So with that, I want to introduce to our guest speakers here today. We're going to have Victor, who works as the Chief Operating Officer at Clinton. Clinton is a layout service provider, not only in Sweden, but it's also offering their services around EMEA. And we also have James, who some of you might already know. He's our partner business manager for the UK and Ireland and the Nordics. Okay, welcome to both of you, and thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you, Carmen. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Thanks, Carmen. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So before kicking it off, I want to tell our audience that we have the Q&A button. Okay, we're going to have 5 to 8 minutes at the end of the session to address the key questions that we get. So please use the Q&A button for it, and we'll address them. So without further ado, right, I want to go into the content of what we have prepared today. And I'll go first, doing some questions to James. Okay, I'll put you on the spot first. If you could give us some context, right, about why HP SitePrint is here in the construction industry, right? And what are the challenges that this solution is solving?
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Carmen, and welcome everybody. Before we jump in, I want to spend a few moments explaining the reason why HP developed SitePrint in the first place, tackling some of those challenges that Carmen mentioned. So HP identified an opportunity to improve efficiency of construction layout through robotic printing technology. One of the main reasons for this is because productivity in construction has decreased over the past 25 years. Quite clearly a problem in the industry, especially when we compare construction to an industry like manufacturing or industrial industries where productivity has pretty much doubled over the same period. Now, when we look at other challenges, we see that marking out in construction, specifically what SitePrint was designed to do, is currently a very manual process. So we see multiple people and trades accessing site on different occasions. These people will often be using string lines, tape measures, often kneeling down and standing up all day long. Very time consuming and can put a lot of strain on the people tasked with marking out. Let alone potential issues with quality as the day progresses and different trades access that slab at different times, right? Not only are the workflows extremely manual, but they require a high degree of skill. Certainly if all elements are to be positioned correctly and accurately on site, we see two main concerns when we look at skilled labor or skilled talent in the construction industry. First is finding and retaining skilled workers, and a real issue in today's environment, I'm sure Victor will attest to later on in this conversation. And the second is attracting new talent to the industry. New technology like SitePrint goes a long way in tackling these challenges. As SitePrint automates currently manual workflows, it can also attract new people into the industry with the lure of managing and operating cutting edge technology such as the robot that we're talking about today. And finally, when we speak with project managers and senior commercial stakeholders on projects, we understand that the main goal is always to deliver the project on time and on budget. Any delays to the project can eat into margins. So when projects are subject to mistakes, reworks due to poor quality layout, has a very negative impact on not only project schedules, but it heavily impacts the bottom line, and that's the main fact of the matter. So SitePrint provides a solution to these main challenges that we see.
Okay, great. And I mean, it's absolutely amazing to see new technology coming into construction sites. I mean, we have to make the industry as attractive as possible, right? To get more people working in construction and also to make it more efficient and more productive. And that's why HP SitePrint is here as a player in the construction market, right? Well, now that we've given a bit of context on why the solution is here and why we bring it to market, for sure there's a lot of people in the audience that want to know how to get an HP SitePrint, right? Or what am I buying when I buy an HP SitePrint? So we have a pay-as-you-go model. Right, and this is probably something also innovative in construction, right? To have a pay-as-you-go model. So I want to James to explain us very briefly how the model works and what does it bring to our customers.
Perfect. No, of course, Carmen, thank you. So before we dive into the detail again about what we consider the best deal in construction, I'd like to give some background to the rationale behind it, the reason we chose this. So HP reviewed the market extensively when we launched the SitePrint. We looked at 3 potential options, the 3 that you can see now on the screen, when looking to deploy this technology to our customer base. As the robot hardware is just one part of the SitePrint ecosystem, we needed to consider a few different things. So firstly, the top here, the subscription model, we looked at using a model like this to start with. Pros to this model is that it's easily understood by our customers. You know, all inclusive, pay X amount each month for X amount of months. It allows unlimited operation. However, there are some drawbacks here. The cons are that the option is, you know, vast majority of our customers will be paying even when the robot didn't need to be used. Very costly when you consider certain delays to sites these days. For example, you may not get to execute printing on a slab in a calendar month for a variety of different reasons, therefore paying for nothing ultimately. Creates a hard to predict ROI for our customers. And finally, the customer never actually owns the robot at the end of that subscription period of time. Moving down to the service model, we looked at how this would work for us. So, you know, a project can be executed for you. The pros to this model is that it's a fixed cost per project, easily manageable, something our customers understand. The customer receives a full white glove service, so the customer gets the benefit of the robot without actually having to get their hands dirty. So, you know, favorable to many. The cons to this again is that it's just not scalable, certainly from our perspective. You know, we could have 100 projects that want to use SitePrint globally, but only 50 operators available at any one time. And you're heavily reliant on those operators, their schedule and everything in between. And like the subscription model, you don't own anything at the end of it. So, you know, we weren't so sure on this avenue either. And finally, we also considered a straight purchase option. You know, the end user takes full ownership of the hardware. They can implement the hardware on demand when they want to. The cons to this is that the entry price would be extremely high, given the fact that they have to cover the robot hardware and any additional costs on top to consider, repairs, maintenance, software, fees, consumables, such as ink, that kind of thing. And once all options were reviewed, we felt that we could provide a much better deal for our customers, and then that's where we enter the pay-as-you-go model here as well. So the customer chooses in the first instance, you'll see on the left here, to own or rent hardware from one of our global HP SitePrint partners, and then everything from that point on is wrapped up into our pay-as-you-go model, which we'll discuss in the next slide. So if you don't need to print for 3 months, you don't pay a penny. You only pay when you print and for what you print. And guess what? The customer gets to choose how they want to be charged as well. So you'll see here there's 3 main models. There's an area model. This is based on a price per square meter, which is the first one you see. Great for general contractors or layout service providers like Victor and Clinton, where there's, you know, they're doing the layout for all trades. We have a price per point model, which is the middle one you see here. Great for MEP trades, those marking out many points on a project, and that's the only thing that they do. And then finally, we have the flexibility for the customer to choose a linear model. So this is great in industrial applications, wide open spaces where the line work might be dense, and for those dry liners, those marking out for partitions. So there's 3 main options there as well. So flexibility is key from this point in time as well. So on top of that, everything is wrapped up into this fee. So what do you get as part of that? We obviously spoke about purchasing ink separately, maybe support packages, that kind of thing. But with our pay-as-you-go model, there are no commitments, as we said. unlimited ink supply. You get access to our full ink portfolio, which again, I'm sure Victor will discuss a little bit in his section. We have the ability to print in many different environments with a full portfolio there. Any support, repairs, maintenance, next business day swap outs if required. Downtime is kept to an absolute minimum at no extra fee. The software as well, there's no costly yearly licensing fees to pay. All access to our software is included here too. And finally, the firmware. We are constantly making this product as good as it can be, both in terms of productivity, accuracy, simplicity for our end users. And ultimately, this is covered at no extra fee to the customer either. So just to give you a view of that, we launched a brand new firmware update earlier this year, and it saw a 40% increase to the robot. Customers are going to benefit from that as part of this model that we offer as well. So to summarize before I send back to yourself, Carmen, what do you get what are you buying with SitePrint and our pay-as-you-go model? So predictable costs and time, use the robot when you want to, pay for what you use when you use it, nothing more, nothing less. Accurate and quality setting out all the time. The first element that the robot prints is accurate as the last, and I'm pretty sure no human can say that. Very much increased productivity versus manual workflows. And finally, overall reduced man hours on projects and sites. Going back to that point, delivering a project on time and on or under budget there too. So yeah, back over to you, Carmen, and I'm looking forward to speaking with Victor.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, all the advantages that you get when you get an HP SitePrint at your job site are really visible, and I really love how also the pay-as-you-go model is also versatile and adapts right to the construction needs, and that's why we have per points, per lines, right, and all of the options for our customers. Thank you, James, for guiding us through that. And now I know you want to listen about Victor. So, Victor, we're going to go over to you. How are you this morning?
Thank you. I'm very good this morning. Looking forward to this webinar. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining. Your experience with the robot, I've heard has been very good. So I bet the customers or the potential buyers for HP SitePrint here today want to hear it also from you. So I want to start just with the basic question: why did you choose HP SitePrint in the first place?
Good questions. I think the decision to invest in the first place was partly driven by the desire to stand out from the crowd, to stand out from the competition, and offering our client something special that would make us win more projects and contracts. And also the fact that James was speaking about how to retain and to get new people into the business of surveying. So I think the whole surveying business has the same problem, that there is issue to get people into the business. So I think to attract the next generation, we need to find something else than the traditional methods. So I think working with a robot would attract people to get into the business, as well as it's a work environment and ergonomics to work with a robot instead of working on their knees, bending over, working with the lines and stuff. It's different way of working, and I think it's improving the business. So yeah, that's why the short answer why we invested in the HP SitePrint. Yeah.
Thank you, Victor, for sharing that. I only see benefits on your words, so that is great. I'm very happy you're getting the best out of the product. And now can we go to some examples on how Clinton and your team is using the robot at the job sites and projects?
Sure. I think for us, it's from now we're still in the beginning of the process of working with the robot. So now we have been using it in existing projects that has already started. So then it's more about adapting to the project. So we've been using it to stake out for drilling, installation, walls, and the typical stakeout. It's been a change for the client to understand the price model and everything, but this is like it's a work that has to continue. At the same time, I've been working with our clients to look on upcoming projects, how we can get the robot into the production early, so we can adapt with drawings and the way of working and the process in the project. So when we start looking at it early in the project, they can see benefits for other trades than just surveying, because I don't think we should look too much on like saving the cost on the surveyor. I think we should be looking at the full picture. So when they can see the benefits of staking out everything in the project and not just walls or grid lines, that's when the client starts seeing the full benefit of the robots.
Yeah, because the robot not only prints lines, right? It also can print text and bring more information to the slab, right?
Text points. I don't know, should I mention QR code? Maybe not. I mean, there is a lot of information we can put on the slab, which will help for the installation that
Yeah.
we don't do if we do it manually. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it keeps also the entire team at the project well communicated and informed about the status and what's laid out on the floor. Okay, great. So then from the cost perspective or the margins that you have to, of course, take care a lot during a construction project, how would you say that HP SitePrint is benefiting here to have the control over that?
I think the biggest benefit, I think it's two sides. One is for us as a surveying company. I think you can grow as a company, growing with the robots instead of just growing with surveyors. Since we can have one robot on one surveyor, we can do more work. But for our clients, I think they can save a lot of money removing the mistakes in production and the repeatability of the robot. I mean, my handwriting is probably not as good as yours or James. So I mean, the information we put on the slab is correct. If it's a line, if it's a point, if it's text, I think that's where we see the biggest benefit throughout production.
Yeah. Amazing. So in the end, I mean, from your perspective as Clinton and also if you want to comment for your customers, but has HP SitePrint been a good investment up to now for you?
Definitely. I think we have only had positive feedback from our existing clients that we're working with, and it's also opening up a new market for us.
Yeah.
Clients that we usually don't work with come to us, ask for quotes, and want to start looking at upcoming projects, because now in Sweden, construction market is quite still, as probably everywhere. But everyone wants to see how they can use these methods to win upcoming projects and tenders. So I think there will be a lot of work to set this sort of change in the projects, so they can win projects later on. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Victor, for sharing. James, if you want to jump in with another question or something, just feel free. This is an open conversation, so you can also make some questions. But
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
sorry. Yeah, no, just a quick one from my side, actually. Obviously, at the beginning, Victor, you mentioned about standing out from the crowd, you know, it being a differentiator for you versus your competition. Have you had any, I mean, in the short time that you've been running and operating the robot since the turn of the year, have you felt this tangibly in terms of that? Have you won projects, but perhaps your your competitors had tendered for with you that didn't have a robot, and you came out on top? Is that something that you felt already, or are you yet to feel that?
Yeah, I think so. We won a project which is not in our main regions just a few weeks ago. It's a school or a hospital project. So we're starting with 10,000 square meters, and it can end up in over 100,000 square meters. And this is in a region where we're not based. So I think that type of projects we would never win without the robot, because we cannot compete with traditional work if it's a 4-hour drive, so we wouldn't drive there every morning. So I think we're competing with companies that we didn't compete with before. So yeah.
Okay, no, fantastic to hear, and nice, certainly from our side, that you've justified your investment already in the short time that you've had it.
Yeah.
It's always good to get one over on your competition, right?
Okay, so I mean, these are very short capsules of 30 minutes, Victor. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give right now some time for the people who have joined to make some questions, either to James or to Victor, or yeah, or even to me, if you would like to. So now it's the moment. I know that there are no questions right now in the Q&A, so I'm going to give some time for people to submit some questions. In the meantime, I do have a question for both of you. First to Victor, and then maybe James, if you want to comment a bit more. And I love, Victor, that you chose this background on versatile robot that adapts to construction, because it comes very in handy to the question that I'm going to do now. And that is about how do you feel that the robot has adapted to construction sites, right? To the real construction environment.
I think it has adapted well. I think the first question you get is like, oh, what if it's dusty, or what if it's wet? What if it's this and that? But I think changes the way of working for a surveyor as well. I mean, the robot works very well if it's a bit dusty or so. But I mean, for the surveyor, you start the robot, you go around, you move some stuff, you might be like vacuuming or whatever you do, but it's a different type of work day for the surveyor. So I don't see a problem with using the robot in any site. So we have been trying it in different sites and environments, and it has been working very well. So I think it's a mindset thing, I think.
James, you want to comment a bit on
Yeah,
this?
just a quick one, actually, because obviously we speak to various service providers globally, like yourself as well. I'm always keen to understand what's been the feedback from your employees, the people that have actually operated it, and the good and the bad, of course, because we we don't want to make it all good. It's an honest assessment of your implementation of the robot. Yeah, keen to hear the feedback that you've received from your surveyors.
I think I mean, maybe I only listen to the good feedback, you know. No, but I think the feedback has been good. I think in the beginning it was feedback that I mean, it's easy to start, it's easy to get going. You know, you always have this questions about, oh, can we not put different colors in different layers in the drawings and so on? But I mean, it's also like a development phase. You change things and you come with updates all the time. So I think you grow together with the suppliers you have. I think that's important, and you have to. We haven't had any issues with the robot at all, and the support that we get from you, James, and Joaquin has been flawless. So I think that's the important thing, that you buy something and you get the support in the beginning, so you get going. So the team is not afraid of using the robot. I think that's the most important.
Oh, good to hear.
That is absolutely great to hear. Yeah, it's this is the feedback also that we get from other customers, is easy to use, right? For anybody at the job site. You don't need to be an expert, right, in construction or whatsoever to operate a robot. And actually, we have a question in the Q&A that goes in line with what we're speaking about, and maybe James, you can tackle a bit on this. Is it necessary with knowledge of total stations, or can HP and their dealers give the customers training and the knowledge required?
No, very, very good question. Of course, we overlooked that the robot does obviously link up with a total station on site to maintain the accuracy and the tolerances that we provide. It's a key part of the ecosystem, not just the robot. But ultimately, answering the question, absolutely not. Not to begin with. I mean, some knowledge is favorable, but the training that, and again, going back to the pay-as-you-go model and what's included in that fee, right? You'd have seen service, support, repairs, maintenance, that kind of thing, and that genuinely is the case. So all of the dealers that we have globally are all experts in their field of, within a geospatial space, right? So they either know their way around a total station, they know a CAD file. All of this training is wrapped up with that too. So when you purchase a robot from HP, that training is included. So you get a full 2 days training from the dealer. Sometimes HP will be present as well, and we will work together to upskill those. So no prior knowledge of that is necessary. Of course, it helps that adoption curve increases when people in the business do know those things. But no, the system is designed in 3 key pillars, right? Increase your productivity, provide quality through increased accuracy versus conventional methods. And the final pillar is simplicity. We had to design the robot to be simple and easy to use for everybody, even those that haven't got prior knowledge of total stations. Now, that being said, Victor's on the call too. And for those that do feel that that's a step too far, we obviously have service providers like Clinton who can come in and provide that white glove service. If you think back to the service model we discussed earlier, and they can offer SitePrint as a service, so you can get the benefits of the robot and the information it can supply on your site without having to get your hands dirty. That's where Victor and his business comes in as well.
Great. Thanks, James, for answering that question. We keep getting questions in the chat, which is great. I love an engaged audience. And we have two questions from Georges. Okay, I hope I pronounced that correctly. And he is asking, is it possible to print any kind of free text if the client wants a description, for example, or a longer text?
Victor, do you want to jump on this one?
Yeah, sure.
I can.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think any free text we can print as long as it's in the CAD file. We cannot add anything sort of live. But any free text we can print up to 58 millimeter.
56 mil. Yeah, limited by the size of the print head, but you're absolutely right. Yeah. And if you have access to the CAD file whilst you're on site, you can obviously amend it, add what you require. But yeah, it's a key value driver for the system, and the feedback we hear from the installers and the people using the information is that the text has been a bit of a game changer for them in terms of speeding the installation up.
And I mean, if you're like skilled in AutoCAD or any CAD software, you can just add it on your laptop and send it to the robot. So it's a quick fix.
Okay, good, great. We have another question as well. And they're asking if there's a possibility to print a protocol job report of what was printed, what was staked out, as you say, in case the client would like some proof of work of the quality or something for the documentation of the execution.
Absolutely. No, I understand the question. As of today, with the robot right now, this moment, no, that functionality isn't an option. It's not something that you can do. That being said, I've had visibility of what's coming at the next firmware update and the next software update that we'll be able to bring. And absolutely, this is something that we are working on for following feedback from the market, and it's absolutely something that we will implement within the within the robot and the ecosystem. Yeah, we see it as an extremely valuable tool to have for our customers for exactly the reason that the person asked. Yeah.
Sorry, I was unmuted. So we are getting questions about future developments and roadmap because we're mentioning now that we are releasing firmwares that enhance the performance of the robot. And those are great questions. And trust me, whenever we are going to make a new feature or a new thing that's coming up, right? And we will keep you posted, and you will be the first ones to know. We just about some couple of months ago, we released the Value Pack 2.0, okay, which brought even more productivity to the job sites. Without any investment. So this is an update that you would do to your robot, and you would have those benefits as a customer. We can't share as you might understand on what's the future developments or what's coming up, but we'll keep you posted for sure, and keep an eye on the little robot that's walking all around the job sites. Follow us on LinkedIn, HP Construction Services, right? And there you can know all the updates that we will be bringing in the future. Okay. For HP Construction Services, HP SitePrint is one of the solutions, but we at HP, we are committed to help the construction industry to become more productive, and to bring technology that help us, all of the people that work in construction, to be more communicated and to be more efficient, and to make it more productive in the end. So with that, I think I've answered some of the questions that were on the chat about future development. Um, we do have also a question about inks. James, if you want to tackle on this one.
So I can't see the question, Carmen, I'm
Oh,
afraid.
sorry, I
Sorry.
thought. Yeah. Is there any development on different types of inks that can be used? So maybe we can mention the inks that we have at the moment, how they can use it. This is Jasper from Holland. Thank you, Jasper, for your question.
Yeah, no, great question again, and probably just coming off the back of what Carmen said as well. The R&D team, the firmware team are very busy. There's lots of exciting things coming, all based on feedback that we've received from customers and users in the market as well. So all valuable things that will be coming in the not so distant future. But on the inks, yeah, no, the portfolio of inks that we've got ultimately provide us with the ability to print in a variety of different environments or scenarios, right? So we've got inks that are great for non-porous materials, so your waterproof, maybe a epoxy coated, highly finished warehouse flooring in logistics, automation, manufacturing applications. We have a particular ink type for that, and we then have an ink type for more porous environments as well, your typical dusty concrete construction sites, right? Within those two main ink types, we then have different ink colors, and we have different levels of permanency that we want the ink to stay there for. So we have inks that can be wiped away that very same day. If left, they will fade over a couple of week period if they've got UV lighting that falls on them, any water, dust, footfall, that kind of thing. They're designed to be very semi-permanent solutions. And then we've got much more permanent solutions within that portfolio as well that are designed to stay considerably longer. For example, when we see on, from a general contractor perspective, printing everything in one pass, and then that's designed to stay there for in excess of 6 months in most cases as well. So that's obviously a key value driver then from a productivity standpoint too. In terms of other ink colors, ink is one of HP's core competencies, of course. It's something that we do and we do well. We are listening to the market for what else we require. So we have obviously those ink types that I mentioned before, and within those there's different colors, a version of a blue, a black, and a red currently. And we feel that tackles the majority of applications that our customers do today. That being said, as I said, we will continue to listen if there's any area of development that we can apply, and we will bring our expertise to add to that portfolio as well where required.
Okay, great. Thank you, James, for that answer. And we are a bit ahead of time, actually 7 minutes above the time, but the questions have been great, so I didn't want to stop you. If there's any question in the chat or in the Q&A that's left unanswered, don't worry, we will come back to you with the answers to those questions, okay? And just as a recap, remember that HP SitePrint is available throughout EMEA. Okay, you can contact us, or you can contact also the official resellers in each one of the regions, right? For the case of today, I just want to thank Victor a lot for being here and for your time dedicated to this session. You can contact Victor. You have his contact on screen in case you want to know more. You have questions. They're providing layout as a service, right? So you can contact him for this if you have any questions. And then James, of course, you also have his contact if you have any other question that you might have. So yeah, I don't know, Victor and James, if you want to tell some words, wrap it up. Thank you. For me, it's just thank you for being here and for your time. It's been great to have you, and the questions also from the audience have been great.
No, thank you, Carmen and James, and thank you everyone listening in. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you, Victor, for attending. It's very much appreciated, and thank you everybody for the engaging questions. Please reach out if there's any further questions that we might be able to discuss with you. Thank you.